All right, so we are going to read one of the very worried walrus stories. Well, I say one of them, but they're part of the Sweet Pickles story, where there is some animals in human type form who have some very human problems. So, this one is a very worried walrus. So, the Sweet Pickles is quite an older series. So, this is second or third hand, really, to us. Written and illustrated by Richard Hefter. And let's see here. And just to go through our different creatures, A to Z. The accusing alligator, it's your fault. The bashful bear, excuse me. The clever camel, I'll fix it. The doubtful dog, I doubt it. The enormous elephant, I'm hungry. The fearless fish, I'll do it tomorrow. Goof off goose, I feel fine. Healthy hippo. Boop. The imitating iguana, me too. Jealous jackal, I want. The kidding kangaroo, ha ha ha, with a little squirty flower. Shh. The loving lion, I love you. Moody moose, oh, sigh. The nasty nightingale, yeah. The outraged octopus, no. The positive pig, yes. The questioning quail, Responsible rabbit, busy. The smarty stork, I know everything. The temper tantrum turtle, I'll hold my breath. Alrighty, almost there. The unique unicorn, things aren't what they used to be. The vain vulture, I'm gorgeous. A worried walrus, our book here, I'm worried. X-rating Xeris, not allowed. XXX. Yak. Yakety yak. And the zany zebra, I do it my way. All 26 of them have stories where they get into awful pickles. But yes, this one, he's worried about riding a bicycle. And we have some emotions over here. We've got our happy. We've got our worried, our nervous, because it shows you all zoomed up inside. We've got our anger, which bubbles up. Bubbles. And we've got our sad, trickling down. Let's see how our worried walrus goes. So, it's from the Weekly Reader books, and this is from 1977. Published by Holt, Rinehart, and Winston. Edited by Ruth, Lerner, Perle.
I'd really like to ride this bike,
said Walrus,
but I'm afraid I'll fall off.
No, you won't, said Pig. Don't worry. She's our positive pig. What a pretty flower on her pocket. All right, you can do it, Walrus. Even if you fall off, it's okay. You can get back on.
There's a lot to worry about.
sighed Walrus.
If I fall off, I'll get hurt, and then I'll have to go to the doctor, and I'll need medicine or bandages or stitches. Oh.
That's silly, said Pig. Bicycle riding is fun, and there is no reason to worry. See, even if he falls off and hurts himself, which is unlikely if he's careful, he can still get better. It's not the worst thing in the world to need a little boo-boo care. But he's probably not going to need it, so it's all right. You just try, sir. You just try.
That's all right for you to say, gulped Walrus. You're not about to get on this bike. Get up on this bicycle. There's so much to worry about when you're up on a bicycle. An awful lot can go wrong. You have to steer and pedal and balance.
Yep, that is actually part of learning how to ride a bicycle. So you steer the wheel, you pedal with your feet, and you have to keep balance. Now, it actually is easier to keep balance if you're moving. There is a thing called training wheels. And when new people are learning to ride bicycles, usually they have someone help. Mama Monster, when she learned to ride a bicycle, it was with a friend. And I didn't fall when I had to stop. I would put my leg out and step up. And if you see, he has long legs. So if he starts to fall, he can put a foot down and hold himself up. But Mr. Walrus here is not thinking of that.
You have to look out in front of you and on both sides and make sure no one is behind you and not go too fast and use your brakes.
Well, that just makes sense. When you're walking, you have to watch out in front of you. All right? And you have to look around, make sure nobody's about to run over you. Someone running up behind. It's not that different from a bicycle.
And you can still crash and bump and fall and slip and slide and get hurt.
Ah! Well, you can do that while you're walking too, Mr. Walrus. You are being silly. It's okay to think about these things, but you shouldn't let them stop you from doing something fun that you want to do. Because even though this could happen, if you're careful, it won't.
And if I get hurt, they'll have to take me to the hospital in an ambulance.
All right, now that's a little bit excessive. He doesn't have any big boo-boos. Looks like they got a stretcher coming out. Oh, okay. This is going to get real rapid here fast. Okay.
I can see it now. There's a traffic jam on Main Street. The ambulance gets stuck. The driver radios the police to send a helicopter to get me out.
Oh, dear. Helicopters can be involved when there's been a medical accident, but only where something is very dire. And let me tell you, this does not seem to be that sort of scenario for Mr. Walrus. But let's see where his flights of fancy and worry are getting him. Where he's going. Now, is he calm or is he all shook up? He's all shook up. Twisty, shook up, huh? All right, so let's see. He's exploring his fear right now.
When the helicopter lands, there's no place to land, so the pilot lowers a rope. Then the ambulance driver ties my stretcher to the rope and the helicopter goes up.
They actually do have ropes for if somebody's on a cliff and needs help, or if they're in the ocean. Because those are places that a helicopter can't land, but they might need somebody. I like how the people who are helping are so positive. The lion is smiling. I'm not sure what this is. I think this is the fearless fish. And he's smiling. They'll all get Mr. Walrus taken care of. Oh my goodness. Now, see, they don't just carry you around on a stretcher. They take you into the helicopter. So this part is definitely all imagination.
Up and up and up over the rooftops and out towards the river. There I am, hanging at the end of a rope attached to a helicopter, flying over the water.
This is quite the imagination Mr. Walrus has, thinking that riding a bicycle would result in this. Goodness me, let's see what happens next. His imagination is wild. Oh no.
And the rope snaps. Down I go, down, 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 splash. I'm in the river, and it's cold. I swim and swim.
See, he must be doing pretty well if he can swim. See, even in your imagination, Mr. Walrus, you're doing okay. All right, let's see what happens next. Okay.
Finally, a tugboat passes by, and it picks me up. But the tugboat is going in the wrong direction, and by the time I get off, I am miles away from home.
Well, if the tugboat is going the wrong direction and he's away from home, wasn't he going to the hospital because he needed help earlier? I see some discrepancies with his story, Mr. Walrus. But he should be happy he got saved from the water.
And the last train has left, and the buses aren't running.
Well, couldn't he find a place to stay? Also, there's a train and buses here? Okay, all right. He's got a very rich imagination.
So I start walking, and it's cold, and it's getting dark, and my sweater is dripping, and my shoes are going splish, splosh, splish. Then it starts to rain, and I'm so tired, and it's really dark now, and I'm hungry, and there is nothing around. No houses, no people, nothing. And I'm glad he didn't lose his shoes in that whole being dropped into the water situation. Hey, Walrus, called Pig. Stop worrying so much. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The flowers are blooming. Think of the fun you'll have riding the bicycle. Think about the positives. Plus, it's not gonna pour rain anytime soon. Look at the weather, my walrus friend. Walrus looked at Pig. Then he looked at the bicycle. Well, maybe,
he said.
Maybe it will be all right. Maybe it will be. I guess I'll try.
See, and that's what we were looking for, Walrus, is for you to give it a try. Because you know what? Things don't always go all the way wrong. But give it a go, and we'll see how it do. Don't let it stop you from doing something you want to do. Oh my goodness. Walrus got on the bicycle. He balanced. He pedaled. He looked ahead. He looked to the side.
Whee!
He shouted.
This is fun.
He went faster. He looked behind him. He ran into a tree. Bonk. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. His fears have been realized. He ran into a tree. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Crash! Walrus lay on the ground. He thought about the ambulance and the helicopter and the tugboat. Hey, Walrus! called Pig. Are you okay? She's running over to him. And he ran into the tree just like he imagined. And Walrus stood up and brushed himself off. He looked down at his feet. He felt himself all over. Then he looked at Pig and smiled.
Don't worry, he said. I'm fine.
See? He did run into a tree, but he didn't need an ambulance, and all those other things he feared, those did not come to pass. Sometimes when we get wrapped up with the what ifs, we forget that most of those things are not likely to be an issue. Most of them are easily fixed. But thankfully, Walrus had his friend Pig who helped him stop himself from having fun. And so even if it doesn't go perfect, that doesn't mean it wasn't worthwhile. Well, thank you so much for listening. And you have a wonderful day. And just a little reminder, don't let your worries stop you from doing something you want to do. Because those what ifs, they may not even be a thing. All right, well, thank you so much, and you take care.